Okay, so in this part of the video, we're going to take the Read AI documents or the notes, and we're going to send them into Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Outlook. All right. Now this is a multi-part series. So if you haven't watched part 2 and part 1, go back and watch those videos. This video will make a lot more sense. You can get some value out of this part, but it would make sense if you go back and watch the other 2 videos, because we're trying to take Read AI and send them to Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Outlook. We started to send it to Notion. We're trying to send it back to Google Calendar. So there's a lot more stuff going on here. So this video is only focused on the Teams and the Outlook portion of it, and we're using Microsoft Flow for that, and we'll talk about why in a bit. By the way, I keep saying Microsoft Flow. It's actually Power Automate. So they've changed the name now. It's called Power Automate. I'm just accustomed to the old name. But with that, if you're going to get any value from this video, please subscribe. It helps my ego, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so with that, sorry, let me just pause just to check my throat. I had to clear my throat there. Okay, so first we're going to create a blank Power Automate, or the automate that we're going to create has to do with webhooks. So I need a webhook, and I'm not certain how to do a webhook here. So schedule flow, trigger manually as needed, trigger by destination event. I think it's this one. Again, Microsoft is just a little bit more obscure with their naming. So I'm looking for a webhook, or they would call it a request. So maybe here. Manually triggered flow. There we go. When an HTTP request is received, this is one that we're looking for, right? They just have different names for the thing. It's the exact same thing. They're just, yeah. God bless them. So when HTTP request is received, yes, what are we going to do? According to this diagram, we want to send some data to Teams, and we're going to do things. So I'm going to do this and this first, right? Because that's what we said we were going to do. So I'm going to send it to a Teams channel. Let's see which channel we're going to send it to. Again, go watch the other video for more details. So I'm going to send it to my meetings channel. So I have a meetings channel here, and you know what? Let me just make a demo channel. Right? And you could actually make it private. You know what? Yeah, let's make it standard. Everyone in the team can access it, but you could make it private, and then you could just add a user to it. But in this particular case, it's public, so it's fine. So we're going to call it meeting demo. Okay, we're going to push it to this one. So actually, I got nothing in there. So let's just create a new step. And what do we want to do? Let's parse the data first, because it just helps. Actually, you know what? We don't have to parse the data. We could just use their payload thingy. So we don't have to do that. So we can just go right into Teams. Click on Teams. And then we're going to post to a channel. Post message here. And then it's going to ask me where do I want to do. So I want to just do I'm going to post as a regular user. Right, and in this particular case, I'm going to post on myself, but you could also post to somebody else. No, I actually have a system at SnapSuite because it makes it easier for me. And then it's going to choose, but that connection is already there, so it already recognized that I'm already connected. Else it would ask you to log in. Okay, so meeting demo, right? That's where we said we're going to post it, and we're just going to post the message. So for now, we're going to say this is a placeholder for my Notion message, my read AI, right? And then subject. That's it. Save. Okay, so now this is going to give me a link. That link is important because that link is my webhook. Now what I'm actually going to do here, let me do one more thing just to keep it simple. So I'm going to use this version, but when you get the read AI version, you're going to have to improve upon it, okay? But for now, I want to use this tension. Let's say we have this notes here, and then we're going to put one more. I'll put a comma, okay? Again, go look at my previous video about webhooks to know about this stuff. And then I'll just put subjects, okay? And colon, and then say quotation. This is my subject. I'm going to take this, copy it, the entire thing. I'm going to go to flow. I'm going to go to here where it says read use sample payload. I'm going to paste that sample payload here. I'm going to save it, and it's going to do some magic. It's going to take my stuff and it's going to do some stuff with it. But basically just creating a schema. Alright, but it doesn't really matter. You don't care about all that stuff. Okay, the only thing you care about is when you click here now, this will give you the option to choose whatever you want. So you see here, I can put my notes here. See that? And then the subject, I can put a dash and I can put a subject there. And it's just going to extract the values from here and here, and it's going to put it here and here and there, and then it's going to put that there. That's all it's doing, right? So now we need this URL. We need this URL because this is Microsoft's Flow webhook, right? So again, going back to our diagram, we're going from read to make to Notion, make to Google, right? Make to Flow or Microsoft Automate or Power Automate, that is it's called now. So make to Power Automate to Teams, right? It's just easier that way, trust me, just easier, right? You try to go from make to Teams and you get into all these weird stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back into make. We're going to click on this and we're going to say HTTP or request, REST maybe. API. Oh, here, make API call. Isn't there another version? Make an API. No, that's not what I want. I don't know this company. I don't know what this is. Let's add here. I need to make a request. I don't know the name for it. Webhook. I don't know the name for it. Here. So we need to make a HTTP. Make a request. Send HTTP request to a specified URL. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so now I'm going to paste that same URL, that ridiculously long URL, Canada Logic app, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to change. This is the most important thing here. So on Flow, you have to ensure, just ensure that this here, this option here is choose as a post. Okay, just make sure that that is the case. And then in your make, let's just bring this together. We're going to change this to get to post. Just do it. Okay, just listen to me. Just do it. Okay, and then the body type is going to be just raw. Content type be application JSON. And then the request content, it'll be whatever comes from that webhook. So it's going to be, damn it, how do I get that? It's going to be, I don't know how to get the so I'm trying to get the data from the webhook. Okay, let's just do this for now, just as a test. Okay, I'm going to come back to this in a bit. So I'm just going to copy and paste the same content here because I don't know how to get the data from there passing through. Parse response, we don't really care. Click OK. Right? So let's save this. Let's see if we got a flow running. So go back to my flows. I guess it's called a request, but let's give it a better name. Up here, I guess. Flow, so this is make. So Notion, read AI. Notion. No, make flow. Teams. I don't know if I could save that, but we'll try. No, not allowed. Edit. Read AI. It's fine. Cancel. Save. Or maybe I was supposed to press the save button and I didn't. Maybe. So we'll call it read AI. Okay. Right. So I think if we could just send it. So go back here, got the URL again. I'm sending to make, right? Send 2 of them. Now let's go to make. Let's go back to scenario. It's on. Click on it. History. Success. That's fantastic. Go here. Refresh. I think it's on by default, so I don't have to turn it on or anything. No history. So nothing ran. So let's go to make. Let's go to details. So it says 1 happened here. Webhook. Operation was completed. Interesting. Oh, it got a 401. It got a 401. The auth authorization schema required. Please add authentication schema. So Microsoft turned it down. And I'm not surprised because there's always some catch for this stuff. So let's go to edit with new designer, I guess. Sure. Maybe this was a mistake. So how do I use any? Who can trigger the flow? Any user in my tenant. I see. Anyone. There we go. Save. Now we have to go back here. No, we just go back here. Send again. Send again. 2 of them. Go back to make. Go back to this. Refresh just to make sure we got the latest. And we go to details. And we go here. And it looks like it's all green. Error. Oh, geez. Can you go away, please? Ask me later. Direct Authorization required. Message. The request must be authenticated only by a shared access scheme. See what I mean by Microsoft? Microsoft just adds more complexity, so there's no point in you trying to send from a you know. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch our initial video so I could explain why this is important. So we got a 401, still authorized, unauthorization, unauthorized. Oh wait, but it might just be because of that delete problem again. So let's so what I want to do is I want to clear. See if there's a way to do it. No. Click on this. So we're going to post. So we might have to add some additional stuff. So let's go back to Microsoft and see. Settings, schema, comparison network, code view, about us. So, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go directly to flow just to make sure that there's nothing weird happening with flow, which I suspect that that's the problem, right? So let's just go with here. I'm gonna click on this. We're gonna copy this parameter. Copy this. It says anyone can post, so therefore, if I go here, I'm gonna clone this, duplicate, right? And then we're gonna call our automate. Sorry, they changed the name and I keep calling it the old name. Save, and then body here. I'm gonna pass in the subject as we were doing before. Oh, I didn't save it, that's why. Save, send. So it's returned at 200, accept. Okay, so that's good. So it's actually not a Microsoft thing. Here, success, right? So it's not a Microsoft thing. So that means it's on the flow side. So, I'm sorry, on the make side. But let's go double check this. There we go, right? So we got our notes in here. So let's just confirm that it's working. Make sure we don't have anything up our sleeve. So, is it working? Send. Refresh. Bam, we got two of them. Go to Teams. Is this really working, right? Okay, so that's good. So we know that part is working. So what do we know? We know that flow is working, and flow is also sending correctly to Teams. The problem is somehow we're getting a bounce back 401 here. Right? We don't know why. That's what we got to figure out. Okay, so let's go back to this here. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it in the request content. Content type. Show advanced option. Let's see. Disable serialization of multiple same query string keys as an array. Probably something you want to disable. Use manual mutual TLS. Maybe. What's preventing you from going through? Serialize URL? No. Evaluate all states as errors. except 200 and 300. Maybe. Serialize URL. Can I pause this for a sec? Okay, so I think I know what the problem is, but I just wanted to try it in real time. So basically every single body that I suggested suggests that whenever you copy the link, I was on this article here, saying that when you copy the link, it was copying it wrong. And then when I went back in and I looked at the make AP HTTP request, so just to show you how I've at least got to this point. So when I went in here and I looked at the history of the execution, I click on details, right? Click on this. And then if you see the URL ends with just API version, right? But then if you go here, there's actually more stuff in the URL. So I actually copied this. I paste it in Notepad. If you and then if you notice, see here, so it's ending here, but there's more stuff after it. So I think that's the problem. So I'm just going to copy that again, and then I'm going to go back to the scenario. I'm going to click on edit, click on this. See here, it's just ending there. So we're just going to make sure that that's there, right? So it's pasting the entire thing in. Post, everything is the same as a post. It's a raw. This is the format here. Click OK, and I think this should work. Now we're going to press save, and then let's try it from this one again. So this is read AI test. Click send. Okay. Then we go back to here. Go back to here, go back to history. You should see success, click on details. There, 202, fantastic. URL problem. So sometimes you just gotta go back. It's a small little simple things, you just gotta just double check. And it took me a little second there just to figure out what was happening there. I got a success, and if I'm not mistaken, we got notes. Right, that's my third one. Okay, and just to make sure, okay, right, well, we can't do that because we don't know. So great. So how are we doing? So we've gotten, we can get the make, we can get the flow, we can get the teams. That's fantastic. There's only one problem here. The data that's coming from this Postman. So right now we're using Postman, right? We're just simulating this. So we're using Postman. Right, so from here we're just posting to this guy to make, right, and in doing so we're then pushing down to flow. So that's basically what's happening right now. So that's good. The problem is that I need to make sure that the JSON that I put in here actually goes here and actually goes across. And right now I have a problem where the data, it's not the correct data that's going across. I'm just hard coding the data. So let's just spend 5 more minutes on that, and then we're gonna kill this video. So how are we going to do that? We're going to go to here, here, click edit. And I have a problem because I have data coming in here. Now determine data structure. Okay, here. So determine data structure. There, that's what I'm looking for. Right, so it's going to try and parse the old, I think, I have no idea, but I think it was going to do is going to try and parse the old JSON that came in previously, and then so let's make sure. Right, so it's going to try to do that, I think, and then it's going to, based on that data structure, it's going to try to give me downstream. In other words, so I could take that data structure and copy it, just like what Flow is doing. Because you see what Flow did, I actually had to take that data, copy it into the schema. I don't know if I'm making any sense here, but basically what I'm saying is the same thing that I did with Microsoft Flow. So this is our Flow. Where's my Flow? Oh my goodness, lost it again. Here, right? So when I did edit, it's using the cancel. I'm using the new one, so I have to, I don't know why they would do that. So when I click edit here, remember I had to take this use sample payload and take this payload here and paste it into here, right? This is how Microsoft knows how to do those little fancy things like this, right? Like this and this. Because when I click here, it gives me the option to, it shows those options there. So that's basically what make has to do. But see, it's not really doing it. So maybe there's an advanced option. So the problem is I don't have the schema that's coming in. So redetermine data structure. For more information on how to create a webhook. So can I? Yeah, so it's not giving me the schema. Here, parse schema, so click on details. So I'm looking for so yeah, I'm not seeing it. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. Basically what I want is how do I get the content so create a data structure immediately after creating a webhook by calling the webhook with sample payload in the request body. Redetermine the data structure of existing webhook, going to the module, click and return the webhook, calling the webhook with sample payload. Oh, I see. If you call the webhook to automatically determine or redetermine the structure, make does not create a reusable data structure, and the data structure determines if the way to store. So maybe what I have to do is I have to click on this, and then I have to click on this to send it a sample. Yeah, there we go. Right. Okay, got that. Right, so now I can come across here, and I should be able to do this. There we go. Fantastic. Right? So I want notes and subject in the custom webhook, or I could just say I want the entire thing, right? Interesting. I think I have to reconstruct it. I can't just forward the entire body, which is kind of crazy, but okay, whatever. So I just have to reconstruct. That's a little crazy, but we'll take it for now. There might be a better way to do this, but for now, this will work, right? So just to make sure that we kind of have everything. So what we want to do is we want to kind of backspace all of this, right? So it's colon quotation, right? So it's just to make sure that we got the format right. It's the name of the property, a colon, then the name of the value, comma, name of the property, a colon, or in this case no space. You don't have to, you could put a space, it'll get rid of the spaces, but no space, right? Just to kind of keep things a little bit, I'm going to put a space just to kind of keep it a little cleaner. Right, quotation, close quotation. So I'm just going to put that back in here. So I'm going to put my notes in there, and I'm going to put my subject in there. Okay, click OK. So now if I click save, and I say in here, I say data coming from Postman in the notes. sync, save, submit. Right? So scenario, double check that this is actually running. History, right? Successful. Click on details. Yes. 200. We're just double checking all of our T's, right? We got a 200 here. So then we go back to Power Automate. Go to here. Don't care about that anymore. We got a success there. Now if we go to Teams, I think this will work. This data is got from Read AI placeholder, right? Fantastic. And I think we had this thing before. We don't have to do this anymore. We could get rid of this Read AI subject. Where did we put that? I think we put that in the Microsoft Flow. So we can come back into Flow, Designer, click on that, get rid of this subject, right? Because now we have our own subject coming through properly, and we can get rid of this because we have our own message coming through properly. Oops, we got rid of the whole thing. Click on this and then click on My Notes. Save. Just test one more time. My Notes 001. Okay, save, send, here, skip everything, go to Teams, there we go. Fantastic. Okay, so now that we have that, we got full coverage from Postman to Make to Flow to Notion. Right, Notion is getting those notes too. We forgot about Notion, but Notion is working, right? Because we're splitting the data across the two. So where's Notion? Oops, don't have Notion open. Here. Now we're putting random text here. Now we could fix this properly. So let's just get rid of this. We can go back to Make. We can go back to Make. We can go to this. We can go here. We can go here. And then we could go here. And then in this instead of this paragraph here where it says text, we can now change that to notes. Okay. Right, so let's try that again. I'm just going to put 002, 002, send. Again, that's going to go to Teams, 002. And if we go to Notion, oops, did I not save it? Notion. Paragraph, content, My Notes. Oh, did I not save? Maybe I didn't save. 003, send. Okay, that should work. If it doesn't work, I'm going to fix it. Oh, there we go. Yes, fantastic. Right? So we got full coverage. Okay, so that's part 3, I think. This one was a little bit longer because I had a little problems with trying to get things. So we were able to get from Postman to Make to Flow to Teams to Notion. Now we just got Calendar and Outlook to do. Awesome. We'll do that in the next video.